local derby between Corby Town and Rushden and Diamonds. This game is a semi-final of the Northampton Hillier Cup, and the victors will go on to meet the other local team, Kettering, in the final. Chuck Middleton commentates with absolutely no bias whatsoever. The Diamonds have been busy boys this week as they feature in Match of the Week Part 2 against Northwich Victoria. This is the two teams' first meeting this season following the match postponement in January, and is rather important because the Diamonds are trying to close the gap on top spot hoggers Yeovil. Next, you can breathe a big sigh of relief if you're not a football fan, because we bring you the first part of the NTV Star Search Grand Final Northern Area from the Raven Hall in Corby. Hosted by Chuck Middleton and Sarah Jane, tonight we see the first 6 singers who made it through to the final from venues across the county, as well as some familiar guest singers to entertain you. And if you don't like football, look away now, because it's part 3 of Match of the Week, featuring Forest Green and Rushden and Diamonds. This is the 5th round of the FA Umbro Trophy, and both teams will be looking for those goals following the previous 2 0-0 draws. The Diamonds are also going for the league and cup double, so stay tuned to find out the outcome. That's the lineup for this evening and the rest of the week. If you're watching out for part 4 of the wedding experience, then I have a special message from Reverend Black. He says, "Worry ye not, for the programme shall return to your screens in the next few weeks, when he has composed his next important lessons in the holiest state of matrimony. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show." NTV's coverage of the Hillier Senior Cup semi-final is sponsored by Chariots of Burton Latimer, the people who say yes to easy car credit.
Welcome to the Triangle in Corby, where tonight we're going to be watching Corby Town versus Rushden Diamonds in the semi-final of the Hillier Senior Cup. So, Corby Town there, just warming up before tonight's big game in this semi-final in the Senior Hillier Cup. Of course, Corby got here by playing 2 other teams from Northamptonshire, the Northamptonshire-based Cup competition. There's Oswald Mintus, just stretching his legs. A few of the other Corby Town players down on the pitch before the start of the game. Of course, they did beat Cugno en route here, whereas Diamonds, who are just training there, warming up, didn't actually play anybody yet. They've come straight into this competition, as have Kettering in the semi-final stages. Nice cold brisk night here at the Triangle. And before kick-off, we were lucky to watch some of the youngsters from both the towns. The team from Rushden playing in green and red, whilst the Corby team playing in red and black. Girls playing football, whatever next. No, it's good to see it happening. So, we've got a break on here for Corby Hellenic, number 8. What a fine shot, excellent goal. Is he a star of the future, the new Michael Owen? We'll have to wait and see, maybe. And an excited mum, no doubt. But here come the teams. Diamonds first out in a unusual away strip of yellow and black trimmings and lovely yellow stockings. And out from the famous Steelmen. Obviously led out by Hyro Mintus. Not many faces you'll notice there, but I'm sure we'll keep you up to date throughout the night. The official tonight, very important to the game. So tonight's teams, Rushden Diamonds. We've got a few first team players in tonight. It's Roswell, Butcher at number 8, he's the captain. Mark Sale up front, and Essendar also partnering him. As for the Steelmen, their usual black and white stripes. Des Elliott in goal, captained by Mark Wood, and top goal scorer Ashley Warner, now on 21 goals for the total of the season. A great achievement there. So we're waiting for kick-off. Here we go, Diamonds kicking off there. Typical derby action, as you'd expect. The Northampton Senior Hillier Cup obviously only takes in teams from the Northamptonshire area. So every game's a derby. And, I'm sure we'll be in for a well-fought derby tonight, with many challenges going in. First one of the night there, leading up to a free kick on the edge of the box. Daniel Talbot, the manager's son, takes a shot. well high and wide. Let's hope it continues like that. Though I'm sure it won't. Fine defended there by Diamonds. Oh, a fantastic crossfield pass. He's still onside. Exendower, can he take his man out? Gary Kennedy there. Managed to achieve a throw-in. Of course, Gary Kennedy, for those that remember, the coverage of the Carlsberg Pub Cup final. Come back to that. It's a goal! Unbelievable. Rob Dudley at the back, unmarked. Terrible defending by the Steelmen. And not much got by the goalkeeper, Des Elliott. He's watching this. He's just watching it all the way going in. 1-0 to Diamonds. Denham Russell. Free kick to Corby Town into the box. Tyrone Minters. Just wide. Corby not going to give up here. They're going to keep battling all the way. Gets his eye on the ball. Managed to pass. Not a bad attempt on goal there. So Denham Russell going on one of his wayward runs again. Chip in the cross, but of course, Bertocci equal to it. I was saying about Gary Kennedy earlier. For those that remember the Carlsberg Pub Cup, he played for Corby Caledonia. There we go, there's Tyrone Minters putting the ball out for the corner for Corby Town. Corby will probably have to do quite a bit of defending. And here comes the corner, it's across the goal, and it's gone straight through Des Elliott's hands and straight out for what looks to be a goal kick. Corby under a bit of pressure in these early moments. What more can Diamonds throw at them? See well defending there. Jim Rodwell there. First team regular for Diamonds. There's a strange ball across the front of the goal. Of course, at schoolboy level, you're always told never do that, across the front of the goal, but if you're unmarked, I'm sure there's no real worry. And that's another one there, of course, if in doubt, kick it out. Tyrone Minters. Great tips for the kids, of course, you saw earlier in the game. They'll be coming back on at half-time. Diamonds on the attack. Butcher. And some trickery. Get this ball back into the box, fighting over. It's bounced off him. Des Elliott obviously taking his eye off the ball again. 2-0 to Diamonds. 18 minutes gone. Mark Sale, it looks like with the final touch. Not quite a header, maybe off his shoulder, but it's gone in the back of the net. 2-0 to Diamonds. So Gavin Cox. Just get the ball out to David Hollis. He's got control of it. He's taking it past Talbot. Going to run all the way to the line and get a cross in. Unlucky. Good defending by Diamonds there. Eddie McGoldrick, Corby boss. Many Premiership clubs and top level football. Oh! Grant Morby. Just managing to push that one wide. Not too happy with himself. Corby's got to get themselves back into this game. And there's another ex-Arsenal player, of course, Brian Talbot, the Diamonds head coach. So, Grant Morby passing it out wide to Denham Russell. He's having a look. He crosses the ball up the park, but to nobody. Wasted ball, maybe. Gavin Cox doing the same out to David Hollis, who gets the ball under control, pass it back out to Gavin Cox. Back down the line. Good football from Corby here. Good cross. But unfortunately, not into the danger area. Denham Russell is, of course, one of those players expected to take on the role that Eddie McGoldrick found himself so favourable with at Arsenal, running down the wing and crossing the ball into the danger areas. Free kick. Later, Gary Kennedy. So Diamonds on the march forward. Lovely turn there, but nothing came of it. What can Corby do here? Not too long to go into the end of the half. Ashley Warner's chipped the goalkeeper. Fantastic lob. Corby have pulled one back. Ashley Warner, 22 goals this season for the Steelmen. What a lovely lob. It's a great cross up the park. Just weighted down. Perfect lob over the keeper. No on his line at all. Corby bring it back to 2-1. Not long to go to half time. Will Diamonds readdress the situation on the edge of the box. Talbot, soft attempt again. Des Elliott having problems getting this ball down and into his hands. David Hollis bringing it away into comparative safety. Can they break from this before they pull something back and make it all square at half time? Not, nobody's up there. Touching, doing the easy ball and so a big crowd here at Corby tonight, nearly, but obviously home support well behind the lads. They want to see a home victory tonight. It'll be achievable. So David Hollis, great cross there. Grant Morby not quite getting his head to it, and Ashley Warner not getting his toe to it. Situation diffused by Diamonds. Fans of course play 2 leagues above or higher than Corby do. Corby in the Dr. Martins Eastern Division. Whereas of course, as you all know, fans of Match of the Week, Diamonds play in the conference. Up to half time, and Corby get one late cross in, try and make something of this game. Easily defended by Diamonds. Oh, lovely turn now. Simon Werwell, great pass up the park, but offside. Linesman well on the ball there. And a bit of a dive there from the Corby fans, but all taken in good spirit. So, Corby Town. What can they do here? Can they defend this? Always going forward, but no, they've lost out. It's a terrible defensive error. Danham Russell on attack. A soft shot from Danham Russell there. Could have done so much more. He has the pace. He's one of Corby's fastest lads. He's well aware here. Well away. All he could have done is pulled it back there. He would have got Dempster was well out of the action if he got past him, but a soft shot. Mitochi was very equal to it indeed. So Mark Wood trying to push Corby back up the field. Going out for Brown. High into the last third of the pitch. And then half-time, there's half-time whistle. And Eddie McGoldrick straight out the dugout and into the tunnel. So half-time at the Triangle, it's Corby Town 1, Rushden and Diamonds 2. We'll be back after the break with Match of the Week.
NTV's coverage of the Hillier Senior Cup semi-final is sponsored by Chariots of Burton Latimer, the people who say yes to Easy Car Credit. Cup semi-final is sponsored by Chariots of Burton Latimer, the people who say yes to Easy Car Credit.
Welcome back to Match of the Week, and we're watching from the Triangle in Corby. Some of these under-9s, Corby Hellenic scoring a goal there in the red and black versus a team from Rushden. Now this is a prelude to the game of the semi-final of the Hillier Cup between Rushden Diamonds and Corby Town. It looks like Corby Hellenic, stars of the future, have many goal scorers on their books. But Corby Town kick off this second half. First half scoreline there, you can see Corby Town 1, Diamonds 2. Diamonds getting 2 goals in the first half, both from headers, whilst Corby replied late on in the half with a lob from Ashley Warner. Diamonds want to win this game, I'm sure. They want to take on either what will be Kettering Town or Stuart and Lloyds of Corby. That was in the other semi-final. But here goes a break on for Diamonds. Straight across the pitch, nobody's defending. Easy goal for Diamonds. 3-1. A matter of moments into the second half. Rowlett getting the ball right across the box and completely undefended. Wormel striking past Des Elliott in the Corby goal. Easy goal. 3-1 to Diamonds. So, will Corby manage to pull this back again? Pulled one back. Oh, free kick. We've seen something they didn't quite like there. Late tackle on Rowlett. But, obviously a very soft shot from Wormel into the hands of Des Elliott. lost control. Diamonds look like they've got control of this game. Early in the second half, about an hour of play gone. But Corby not lying down, certainly not going to give up. They're going to battle all the way to the 90 minutes. Andy Brown with a corner there, defended well by Diamonds. Cox putting the ball in, and Mark Wood with an overhead kick there. Very jaunty little knock there on there from Coxey. Mark Wood managed to get his foot to it, it's just gone over, it could have landed anywhere, but Patochi was equal to that. No problem for the keeper. Sloppy play for Corby there. Sloppy play back again to Diamonds. Grant Morby turning on a sixpence, which he's played for Diamonds in his younger days. The ball floating across the box, Gavin Cox there picking it up. Can he get it ball straight into the box? No, it's gone well out there, high wide, into the shrubbery at the back of the pitch for a Diamonds goal kick. 15 minutes or so of play left. We'll be trailing. Diamonds stamping their authority on this game. Down the wing. Good cross. Mark Sale's boot. Not quite on the mark. Maybe the Corby defender Tyro Mintus put him off there, but that went sailing over the top of the bar. David Hollins, can he take Corby forward? Ashley Warner. He's played for many clubs in his time. Still only 28. And here's Ozzy Mintus, likes a shot, he's taken one. Just let his body get over the ball. As we all know, the ball rises, goes well over the goal. The keeper looks on. Can Corby put some extra pressure on Diamonds here? Diamonds certainly not running away with the game here, but maybe Dana Russell can do something. Lovely outside touch of the boot there to David Hollis. Looks up, can he get the ball into the box? Not a bad cross, nobody there to meet it though. Corby not stretching his foot quite far enough to reach that cross, but Diamonds have pulled away. Fantastic turn by Wormel. Can he do anything with it? Not into the path of the captain, of course Ozzy Mintus there, doing what he ought to, kick the ball into touch. So Simon Wormel there has a shot. He's had a great game tonight, but no. Des Elliott, safety in his hands. Corby substitution. Andy Brown coming off. Any Nkusa going on to substitute him. Take his place. Let's see if some fresh legs can make any difference to this Corby Town squad. And they can prove something. Not quite out of the mire, but to bring it back, make the score look a little bit more respectable. Butcher rallying his players. Diamonds captain. Diamonds obviously sitting back on their lead here. Oh, that's terrible defending there. Marcel's got ahead of the ball. What a soft shot. Hillier again with one of his big kicks off the park. Very middling game of football here. The ball's bobbing around the middle of the park. There's not particularly any major chancing on either of the goals at the moment. Corby really need to step up a gear, see if they can do that. The scoreline a little bit closer together, but the show seems to be run by Diamonds at the moment. They need to get that ball into the box. Oh, is it a post? Bar, in fact. Mark Sale, great attempt there, but it's ricocheted off the post. Gary Kennedy shows a little bit of skill, but frustrated by his own quick feet. Let's have a look at that shot again. Mark Sale got his body behind the ball. A great shot. He was almost there, but he knows it hit the post. So Corby defending again. Spent most of the second half of doing that. But Ozzy Minter's taking a run. Pass it on to Grant Morby. He's had a look up. Pushing out to David Hollis. Good football here from Corby Town. Gavin Cox trying to get it back across the goal, but no. Punched right up the park. Butcher, the captain. Diamonds. A lot of concentration on the face of Corby Kitman. Mick Lyons there. But what's he doing there? Tyrone Mintus loses the ball, last third of the pitch. Very dangerous that could end up being. As Diamonds break again. Get it to the byline, cross the ball in maybe? No. There's lots of attempts or chances being made here, but nothing. It's going to worry the keepers too much. So of course Diamonds are 3-1 ahead. You can sit back on this, but Corby back in the thick of the action here. Hollis passes the ball, making it safe out to Mark Wood. Dana Russell's taking past Wood, he has a look up. Shot really. Corby's team, a lot of young lads. Dana Russell there, he's only 21 himself. From Leicester's Friar Lane Old Boys. So Mark Wood getting across into here. David Hollis managed to bring the ball down. Good bit of touch there. Gavin Cox has a look. Wide shot. So a few attempts there from Corby Town. Nice bit of play, has a look up, but doesn't quite turn and get the shot on target. All I have to say, young lads. But I'm sure that Eddie McGoldrick will be looking to increase his squad, get a few more experienced heads in there, in an attempt to take the boys up the league. Kevin Fox has played for Diamonds in his time, of course, in goal. But what's a cross? Ozzy Mintus throws himself for the ball, almost ends up in the back of that with the ball. Corby have pulled it back to 2-3. 8 minutes still on the clock to play. David Hollis puts the ball across, no defending there from Diamonds. Ozzy Mintus on cue to head Corby back into the game almost. Can they pull it back? This does go to a draw. It's all got to end tonight, so there will be extra time and penalties. But there's Ashley Warner pulling a corner out. The final 5 minutes, Corby going to throw everything at Diamonds, I'm sure. So Grant Morby looks up. Tyrone Minter stops the ball, he's going to thread it back out. Dana Russell. Back, placing it safely into the arms of Tochi, who I'm sure, in an attempt to save some time, does Talbot look worried? I'm sure he doesn't. He's going to take the ball right up the park, but it comes straight back at them. David Hollis picking it up on the halfway line, he has a look. Player wide there, Ashley Warner. That's a handball, surely a penalty. That's an obvious handball, linesman. What are you looking at? Well, look at that again. That's an obvious handball. He's raised his hand to the ball. That should have been a penalty and possibly a chance for Corby to pull equal. What's going on? Could this get worse for Corby Town? Roll it. He's taken it into the box. He's fallen over. He's tripped over his foot. The referee, unbelievably, has given a penalty. This game has turned into a travesty. There's very little connection made there with the player. The ref points to the kick. And Simon Wormel has had a great game tonight, but converts that goal. 4-2 to Diamonds. Des Elliott gets his fingertips to it, but somehow the referee has destroyed any attempt for Corby to pull this game back. And Diamonds do what they do, kill the game off completely. Can't blame Diamonds, but the referee, strange decisions. Obviously the linesman there had a good look at what happened in the Diamonds box, but he didn't see fit to give a penalty, while the linesman at the other end of the park obviously saw something that none of us else did. But no disgrace for Corby Town, battled all the way. And so the final final score in this Northants Senior Hillier Cup semi-final. Corby Town 2, Rushden and Diamonds 4. So Brian, a great victory tonight, but is this a distraction from obviously the stuff in the league?
Yeah, I mean, we came here tonight with different players what played last night, but it was the strongest side available in the circumstances. And obviously Corby played their first team, and we wanted to win, no question about that. And the attitude of the players what played was first class. And I think over the 90 minutes we deserved the victory.
A lot of young players in tonight, as you say, with the best squad that you had available. Do you think it was a good challenge for them tonight to play a team here from Corby?
Yeah, I do. I think obviously Corby, with their first team and their senior players in terms of age and men, we had a lot of young players out. And it's a good test for them to show me, playing in men's football, that they are developing to become players for Rushden Diamonds in the future.
Corby Town, they've got to move on and get further up the league.
Certainly, yes, certainly. I mean, I think if we keep showing the application and the character, and of course tonight, you know, you're going to get time to play against quality teams. They'll always give you the time, but they're ruthless when they're going forward themselves. But you know, they're a quality football club, and they've got a lot of young lads out there tonight with, you know, with squad plays, and they passed and moved. I thought we matched them at times when we got about them. You know, we got stuck in. We played our own good football, so. If my players now can take that in the next 14 games, we've got 14 cup finals. This was our cup final tonight against Rushden and Diamonds. We were never gonna win it really. But you know, I'm delighted with the players. If they keep showing the application between now and the end of the season, you know, we'll be all right and we can build for next year.
Another interesting aspect of tonight's game was the fact that both you and Corby manager Eddie McGoldrick both played for Arsenal. Is there anything there to go on?
Not really. I think we're both working in Northamptonshire at the moment. I don't know Eddie that well actually. I mean, he went to Arsenal after I played, and he's obviously come here to try and help the club out, and I think they weren't doing so well. They've done better since he's arrived, and I wish him all the luck in the world, and hopefully they'll move up the league, and maybe if it's not this season, next season they can get promotion.
A great result for the Diamonds, 4-2 eventual winners. They're the last two goals. A bit of a debacle there with the refereeing decisions, but forward moving on for Diamonds. Got a lot to concentrate on in the league, the trophy, and now the final of the Hillier Cup. Great news ahead. Keep watching Northants TV.
NTV's coverage of the Hillier Senior Cup semi-final is sponsored by Chariots of Firth and Latimer, the people who say yes to easy car credit.